Hey YouTube, I just want to do a review of my new Savage Model 10 FCP-SR rifle in 308. It is a 20-inch barrel. It's fluted. The SR just stands for silencer ready or muzzle brake. It has the end of the barrel threaded. They just put a little cap on there for you. Basically, the reason I built the rifle was I saw on the Military Arms channel they did a series of videos called 1,000 Yards for $1,000, and they wanted to see if they could put a combination together for $1,000 or less that they could shoot 1,000 yards with, and this was their final product, what they came up with. So I decided to build one of my own and see if it would do what they claimed it would do. So the only difference is in my rifle is I went with the one that has the detachable box magazine. I prefer to have a magazine. Theirs was a top loader style. I don't really like those, so I went with the magazine. It has a nice heavy handle on the bolt, which I like. It's nice. It's easy to grab a hold of. Cycle's nice. The scope, they tried several scopes out. The scope that they went with in the end was the primary arms, which is here. It's a front focal plane scope. It's a 44, it's 4x14 by 44, and it's a mil dot scope. And I had never had a mil dot scope before, and I was a little bit leery, but I looked up a few charts, and because it is in 1/10 clicks, each click is 1/10 of a mil instead of some of them are in 1/8. Those can get very you got to use a calculator to figure out changes with that, but when it's intense it's a lot easier to calculate changes. Your chart might say go up 0.7 mils. That's just 7 clicks, so it's pretty easy to figure out. I'm pretty impressed with the scope. The clarity and the quality of it is pretty nice, considering it has a MSRP of only $229. And it's interesting. You look around, and the people around me are shooting with $1,500 Night Force scopes, and obviously they're much nicer than this scope. But I mean, at the range out to 200-300 yards, this was definitely plenty to get the job done. The range I went to only shoots out to 350 yards, but I was grouping on paper with this setup at 350 yards, no problem. It took me less than 3 bullets to have it dialed in. So it's a pretty nice setup. One other thing, I used to be a Remington man, and I'm going to have to say that these Accu-triggers are incredible. This is hands down a far superior trigger than what comes on a Remington Model 700 rifle. If you watch any build of a target rifle with the Remington, the very first thing they do is spend $300 on a new trigger. So in my mind, it's like, these cost the same as a stock Remington. Why would you not buy a rifle that already has a good trigger that doesn't need any work done to it at all? Plus the trigger is adjustable down to I believe less than a pound. I just have the stock factory setting. I haven't messed with that yet, but maybe in the future I will. The bipod that I went with was a kind of a cheapie. It's a company called Blackhawk, and it pivots side to side, and it banks and pivots side to side. And I have this adjustment, it's just as tight as it will go, and it's really annoying. I don't like it. Every shot the rifle will tilt one way or the other a little bit, and you'll have to correct it. In my opinion, it's a junk bipod. I'm gonna get rid of it and get something else. It doesn't work for me. I'm sick of messing with it. But yeah, the Military Arms channel guys, they tested a lot of stuff and kind of took a lot of the guesswork out of what to buy, and I went with exactly what they had, and so far it seemed to be working out pretty well. It's a good, it's not a competitive target rifle, but it's definitely, you can go shoot groups at 200-300 yards no problem, and you can take it deer hunting or whatever. It's a really good all-around rifle to have some fun with. The rings that I use the exact same rings they did there. I believe they're Burris rings. They're 30 millimeter, and I went with the tall, not the extra tall, but the tall. And I definitely, it could use a cheek pad. That scope is sitting up there a little bit. I would probably be a little bit more comfortable with it. Probably about a 1/2 inch cheek pad on there of some sort. But if you have any questions about this build or the 1,000 yards for $1,000, feel free to subscribe and ask me any questions you have. Thanks.